final review for Hellblade. Senua's Sacrifice. Um, so all I can say is that I was blown away by the level of graphical detail in this title. It is above and beyond the best thing that I've seen out of a video game thus far. It sets a new bar for what is possible in video games graphics quality. I mean, when I first switched to the Xbox One, I was impressed by Battlefield 1, and I haven't played a game. I bought a nice NVIDIA graphics card for my VR setup, and I've seen what it can do on like Skyrim on high resolution, but this game on max, it just blew me away at the level of graphical detail and quality. It just all the way through the game, just the environments. They must have had a small army of environmental artists that really just brought the game to life. The lore of Viking mythology, that coupled with you know, I keep having trouble. I want to say Seona, but it's Senua. Senua's psychosis and the voices in her head. It's just a whole altogether different experience than any other video game character I played. It takes it in a totally new direction, which is very interesting. I was just massively impressed by this title. I mean, a couple of so I'm gonna go into the weaknesses of this game. So right away, the game is really short. It's shorter than a standard title. I can sort of understand that because I mean the amount of work put into the environmental design and the character model. If you had to do that for a full feature-length game, it would take you forever. So they put all their eggs in the graphical basket and the story basket, and thus they cut back on the amount of game time. So I would have loved to play this game for another 4, 8, another 16 hours if I could. Just enjoying every little detail in the environments, just traversing, just doing the puzzles. That would have been fantastic. So that's one of the things that holds it back a little bit. It's a short game. It's a short game, which is kind of disappointing because I loved every second of it. Another thing that kind of bothered me a little bit was the voices in Santa's head. I mean, I know it's part of the game, but it's just like all through the game, these stupid voices are bugging you and pestering you. Sometimes they're helpful, like when in combat, you're about to get struck in the back, you can't see. That's when you should dodge. It's helpful. Sometimes it's helpful. It throws you a hint or two if you're stuck, like you're going the wrong way. The voices will kind of chime you in. That's cool. But when you're progressing through the game, it's always whispering in your ear, throwing doubt into your mind, like, oh, maybe you should turn back, maybe you should give up, maybe you should lie down and die, like, and it's just like, you just want to tell the voices to shut the hell up. I'm so sick of you, like, quit whispering at me. It's like, I get it, you're crazy. So maybe that kind of keys you into what it's like to be a person with schizophrenia, but it just kind of got to me after a while. I wish I could just turn off the background voices. It's like just. But I guess this is part of the game. Love it or hate it. That's the way it was. But I got through it. I mean, if I had to endure another 4 or 8 hours of constant whispering voices, then that would kind of be tough. But I would still play it due to the graphical quality and the quality of this game in general. This game just reeks of quality. So those were the only two real weak things I didn't like about the game. The rest of it was just fantastic from start to end. They had some great puzzles. They used a lot of perspective puzzles, so you gotta find a lot of perspective things. My favorite parts of the game were the combat. So it had a nice combat system, very well done. You kind of had to use your dodge and quick strike and power strike and shield break to effect with certain enemies. Each enemy had their own kind of style, and you kind of had to use your wits in order to defeat all of them. So, unfortunately, since it was a short game, there weren't that many bosses. But the bosses that were in this game were very good, reminiscent of Dark Souls quality. The first boss I got through, but it was really good. It wasn't that hard. The second boss was really impressive. I enjoyed that. It was a much longer fight, a challenge. I really enjoyed that. And the third boss fight was really good too. I enjoyed that well. Definitely a challenge, not a easy, breeze walk through the park. It's not a handhold game. There was a lot of, I think. This game also has also acquired taste because it wasn't really a weakness to me, but some people might look at this game. There was a lot of visceral scenery, a lot of emotional torment going on through the game. It kind of it's really dark. It's really hellish. So that might disturb some people. I found it entertaining, fascinating. But that's just what kind of game it is. You're not going to be walking through green fields in this game. But I mean, I'm just blown away by the graphical quality. That's the number one thing that stood in my mind. I mean, I played Doom on the Xbox One. I bet Doom on this computer with graphics all the way on high would be great. But this is the first real title that I experienced on my high-end computer that really brought out what is possible in today's modern video games, and it really impressed the heck out of me. That being said, if this game was longer, like a full-length title, I mean, I appreciate, since it wasn't that long, it was only $30. I would have gladly paid $60 for a game of this quality for a full-length title. But for the final grade, I want to give it an A++. I want to give it an A++, up on the level of Skyrim and Witcher 3. But I think it just fell short just a tiny bit, and I'm gonna go with an A+. An A+. If it was a full-length title and a little bit more variety and just. But the story was so great, the gameplay was so great, the graphics were so wonderful. It has to earn at least an A+. Like I said, if it just went that little extra mile, if it somehow was like a full-length game, I'd have to give this game an A++. There were moments in this game where I was like, yes, this game is badass. During the combat, some of these scenes is like it gets you right here, just like, yes, this is why I play video games. So I definitely enjoyed this title. Probably one of my favorites. It's teetered around the edge of A++, but I'm gonna settle with an A+ for now. That being said, that's the final review for Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Definitely play this. Definitely worth $30. If you're into these kind of adventure games, I highly recommend it. And turn up, if you have a good graphics card, turn up to max settings. You will not be disappointed. Okay, thank you for watching. We will see you in the next game.